All right, we're live, Smitty. I'm just doing my due diligence here. Go here. And where are you?
I don't even have well, I can do everything from my computer. I don't have my phone.
Okay. Yep.
What's the
Okay,
what's the
I see you there. I'm gonna send it to you just now. I'm gonna send it. You want to just post it? I'm gonna post it on Facebook, or I'm gonna send it to you personally as well. This is the slow part for me, where I have to set this up right. I sent it. All right, here we go. All right, we're good now, boss. All right, I see it. I see it. Look at that. We there. Let me turn it down. All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Pastor KP here, coming to you on another Wednesday to talk about things happening in and around the church. Right, Brian Smith.
That's
And
right.
you don't know this face. Well, many of you don't know his face from my link. But then again, I might be exaggerating that. But probably you're well known, aren't you, Smitty? Yeah.
Well, certain circles, only certain zip codes of the
All right. Introduce yourself. So by the way, this is Between the Pews. You can check me out on my Facebook page, Free Doulos TV, and also my YouTube channel, which is Free Doulos TV as well. Hit the like, share, subscribe, notification bell so you know whenever we post things. I'm on here on Wednesdays with my good friends, the good pastor friends, man. All right, continue, sir.
First of all, it's an honor to be on with such a influencer on the airwaves.
Don't do that.
But no, honestly, I appreciate you having me on. Bryant Smith. I'm in the Allegheny West Conference, pastoring in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Shiloh Seventh Day Adventist Church. And so that's pretty much it. That's the short version right there. Anything specifically, should I say, Pastor KP? Is there anything specific?
So give us a little bit in terms of where you've always been in that conference, or where
Yes. Born and raised in South Florida, Miami, Florida.
Yes.
Of course, what's the weather there right now? What's the temperature?
When I was driving, it was like 29. Well, it's Canadian temperature, 29 degrees. So that's like really hot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I missed that thing. You need to start learning the conversion now, right? Wait, truth be told,
that's like 80 or 90. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. I should know it better too, because my wife always teaching me. So yes, I've always been at the Allegheny West Conference, serving in the Allegheny West Conference, from the state of Virginia, now in the state of Ohio. Served some time in the conference office as a communication director for about 4 years. Just had a great experience here, learning the good people of Ohio and Virginia's, and it's been wonderful, man. Of course, I don't like the cold. I don't know how I've managed to stay up in this cold for so long. I think it has a lot to do with my Canadian wife. Got me up here at this cold. But it's all good, man. The great people here, and kids. I got 2 little kids that are growing up here now in this area, and they're loving it. So a little 7-year-old and a 4-year-old boy and a girl, and they're doing really well. So everybody's hanging tough, man. Just trying to serve the people, man. That's all.
we have a few other guys who are normally on here. Again, I don't know if they're going to be able to jump on, but if they are, they'll jump on eventually. But we're just going to continue with our conversation, man. In terms of what's going on, in our world.
Something always going on.
You better believe it. And I'm not going to stop writing this first topic simply because it is happening right now. It's affecting our churches. It's affecting families. It's affecting our society. So, of course, I'm talking about the coronavirus and the rollout of the vaccines, right? I have been on here talking about the fact that, yes, I do believe, of course, the coronavirus is killing a whole bunch of people and it's all around the world and it's affecting so many in terrible ways. I've highlighted that time and time again. But with that came the emergence of Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson and Johnson, AstraZeneca, and they have been, they've gotten the emergency use authorization to produce a vaccine. They've been doing that, and that's fine and dandy. I think individuals who want to go take the vaccines, go ahead. I may feel, of course, I do feel a different way about it in terms of me personally. I don't want it, and I want my personal decisions to be respected. But unfortunately, what we have in our society right now is the combination of government, big pharma, and the tech companies putting on a huge pressure campaign for individuals who are not vaccinated to go get vaccinated. And jobs are being threatened, and travel is threatened, and what else? Well, I said employment already. Other things. You have other things. It really hit home for me yesterday because I got a call from my sister, and I got permission to say this. Where she's young, she works in a job. You can consider her frontline worker, and they're telling her that you must take it. You have to. Now, granted, governments are saying it's not mandatory, but the employers are doing something else. I mean, you should see her face. She's stressed. She's worried. She wants to keep her job. There's some uncertainty there. They're inundating her with a ton of emails. You need to go. They scheduled her to take it without her permission. She doesn't know which vaccine she's going to take. This is not administered by her doctor, right? And it's just this big pressure campaign. And the government is saying one thing, but something else is happening. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, because I mean, there are lots of things that are happening that's quite bothering. That bothers me. That's one, because right now in Israel, for example, they have a bracelet and a certificate that individuals have to have. So if you're vaccinated, you have the certificate. If you're not vaccinated, or if you don't have the vaccine, which is a Pfizer vaccine for Israel, you have to wear a bracelet. I don't know what your thoughts are, boss.
Well, listen, man, praying for your sister, first of all, because I know that's a very stressful situation. It just goes to show you that if the threat is big enough, all rights get thrown out the window. It's like a whole ball game. If people are afraid enough, and if the threat is big enough, everything that you thought was untouchable and safe and non-negotiable becomes now, all bets are off. And now people have to exist in this world because, let's be honest, people are afraid. Folk have been dying, and they are dying. And this is creating a level of fear and panic among individuals. And now, like you said so appropriately, it's a pressure campaign. And you get demonized almost as if you are contributing to the cause of death. You're active participant in all the negative things that are happening if you just simply have a preference. And so Yeah, man, it's a very polarizing issue. I know a lot of people have some very heated opinions about it on both sides of the aisle.
Right.
And I'm not here to say yay or nay, like KP said earlier. I'm not, going to tell you
Right.
what to do. It's personal.
Right.
It's personal, but I think everybody's eyes should be wide open. Though it is, go ahead.
What about, like, I actually reacted to one particular religious leader who came out. He is the president of a union in the Adventist church, and he got his shots, and then when he got his shots, he mentioned, well, I encourage elders and pastors and leaders, if you care about your family, if you care about, you see, that's the kind of thing that I
Yeah. That's not necessary.
Yeah, you're creating two camps right now. Well, there are two camps.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're saying that if you don't do it, you don't care.
You're right.
Yeah.
And it's the other things. It's the other things that, one, there are doctors and scientists who have put things out there. And by the way, if you're watching this, you want to comment, just drop a comment. I think I'll be able to see it here. Hopefully I'm able to navigate this technology a little bit better. And I'll bring the comments up. But yeah, it's just, it's the other side, certificates. Where is this? Israel is testing that out, and people think that it's far-fetched, but tech companies are developing those things right now, and you have to carry it. In order to move about free, you need these certificates, or you need these passports, as they call them. In New York, they're testing it out right now, right? And Israel is like a fishbowl, so they're forcing the citizens to have it, and their people are resisting it. And number two, the bracelets and the certificates and all. And you have two tiers, the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. And I think, honestly speaking, I know that we often talk about it here. We often say, nah, not in North America. No, not in America. No, not in Canada. But that's what is happening. And I sometimes I feel like, I'm saying, what about that other side? Okay, fine. You want to take care of people. That's okay. But what are all these other things? Anyway, it just for me when my sister called me and she looked all haggard and she's worried. She said, I'm stressed, they're pressuring me and I do not want it. And I think that right should be respected, right? And stop hanging persons' employment over their heads.
Now, first of all, once again, if you choose to take it, we are grateful for those who take it and for everybody who wants to take it. And that's not the issue here. I think the issue we're discussing is the pressure, pressure and forcing of it, and that's the real issue. Now, of course, in this country, America, we have vaccines, polio, mumps, rubella, all those kind of things that kids have to take in order for them to go to school. So my children, if they want to be in school, they have to be vaccinated to a certain level or have to get a certain part. And I
in Canada too. I mean, in Canada too.
Yeah. So I see it. You can set it up like way you say, okay, well, if you choose not to get vaccinated, some of the ongoing foundational community things that we do long term, we can just say that we don't want you participating in that. But to threaten somebody's employment, right off the bat, and to threaten somebody's livelihood and security right off the bat, those are fear tactics. But it's good because listen, Fred, if you're Adventist, this is a good dress rehearsal.
Thank you.
This is good practice, man. This is good practice.
Thank you.
And it's something that you have to learn because, let's move away from the vaccines because I know the vaccines have different opinion. Yeah. There is going to be a time in your life where you're going to have to stand for something that is countercultural. And it will cost you something.
Yes.
So, you know, I don't want to virtual signal with the vaccine, but there might be times that you might have to make a decision when it comes to something that your workplace might not agree with, your community might not agree with, but you have to follow your conviction. And that's where it gets real interesting. And I think that's where, and a lot of people right now are convicted, but they're feeling, it's ugly. So yeah, man. And I know people like that, just like with your sister, you know, just like people with your sister. I know there are people like that who they feel one way in their heart, but hey, I got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do, and so on and so forth. But
I like how the Catholic Church is standing behind their folks. They came out straight up and say, "Listen, we don't support the while we support you all getting, you know, you can get vaccinated, but we don't support Johnson and Johnson, for example." Right?
Yeah, they did say that.
I don't think in terms of our church, you know, you saw that immunization you know, message that came out from, you know, very general, where, you know, individuals are coming to us asking for letters, right? Because when you look at like some of the information that my sister shared with me, they spoke about an exemption based on what the doctor says, or religious exemption and things of that nature. Like, you know, what kind of letters can we write if at all, you know, how can we frame this in a way to, you know, help individuals, right? You know, on the job, because before I was of the opinion that, hey, you know, we just have to leave it to them. But individual, you know, now that I've experienced this with myself, I see this is causing some serious mental, you know, agony here when it comes. So, but the Catholics are like, no, we don't support that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the AstraZeneca vaccine, for example, uses chimpanzee adenovirus. We don't eat monkeys. We don't eat chimps, or right. There are other animals that come into play when it comes to some of these vaccines and all that. So I don't know. I just, anyways, don't want to harp on this too much, but I just want to put it out there that, listen, I think that, like you said, Brian, it's a good dress rehearsal. That's what this is, right?
Yeah.
Because the more and more things are going to come out, and you're going to be like, what the heck? Because in Canada, they detain you in a hotel for 3 days and they charge you $2,000. Yes, that's what they're doing in Canada.
You mean like if you do not take it, if you do not?
No, if you go to the country, if you travel to Canada,
you travel,
they take you to a hotel of their choice,
and then
you have to pay for 3 days. If they test you, they force test you, and you have to pay $2,000. This is a Western government.
Wow.
So you know, that's what I'm saying. Where is the vaccine? Where is the health and the you know, where's all this stuff coming from?
Yeah.
Your city, your own citizens, but.
And I'll say this last thing: further dividing an already divided country. It's further driving in those stakes of division. Like after this tumultuous year and a couple of past years we've had, we're already in our separate camps. This now makes it even more, breaks up into more camps and more, and it's just crazy, man. And I'm not going to discount every precious life that was tragically lost during this pandemic. I know it's real, I know it's serious, and I know it has every life has a story. In addition to that, I'll just say this situation is something that just highlights what I said in the beginning. When fear becomes the norm, when people are afraid enough, any and everything is possible, and all options are on deck.
Right.
So yeah. So that's real, man. That's real. But praying for your sister, and she works in healthcare. She works in healthcare. Just real quickly.
Yeah. She works in healthcare. She's not a nurse, but you know, one of the frontline worker type situation.
Yeah, I got it.
I was trying to pull up something here. Kev on stage did something, right? That this, you know, I hate it when these things don't work properly. But no, man. So basically, it's the let me see if I can do it this way. I like the way Kev on stage did it, and I'm trying to basically he was highlighting the UNCF chairman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made a post, and I'm trying to find that post, Smitty.
Isn't it crazy how comedians have become the voice of reason and the voice of like we'll go to a comedian to get more clarity than we would our own local news stations. Like that's wild.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, and then I like the way he does it. I think he does it better in terms of rather than me trying to share it. Let's see here. Man, I hope I can get this. Hold on a second there.
There you go.
Can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play it, and then then we'll go from there.
Well, UNCF. I'm like, what you talking about UNCF for? And they said, oh, okay. Hold on. They talking about the UNCF. I'm like, what?
You're hearing it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay.
What you talking about UNCF for? And they said, oh, okay. Apparently on March 11th, Milton H. Jones Jr. was elected chair of the United Negro College Fund Board of Directors, becoming the first African American to hold that position. And I said, hold on, what? The first African American at the United Negro College Fund? So I went to the website. I said, okay, who else was doing that? Who was uniting the Negroes? Who was uniting the Negroes if not a Negro at the board? Okay, because maybe I just don't understand. So I'll read up, and apparently William F. Stager was who was replaced. Look at Will Stays. This Will Stays. I said, hold on now, what? And in this, on the website, it says previous board chairs include John D. Rockefeller III, a white man, okay, former chairman of PepsiCo, Michael H. Jordan, a white man, and former Revlon president and CEO Jack Stahl, another white man. So I'm asking myself, I honestly had never really put too much thought to who was the chairman of the board of the United Negro College Fund, but I just assumed it was a Negro.
Yeah. Why would we think any differently, right? I mean, why would we think any differently? Yeah.
Did you know, Smitty? Did you know this? Did you know any of this?
No, that's news to me. And every time you hear that phrase,
the United Negro College Fund,
it's not much to think about.
Oh my goodness,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I did not know. And then of course, I not that I didn't believe Kev, right? But I took the time to go look it up, and let me see if I can share that again. I took the time to go look it up, and lo and behold, sir, lo and behold, right? What are you experiencing issues there? Is this black?
Yeah, it flashed and it went black. Yeah, so now it's black. I didn't see anything. Was that a video you can play?
No, it wasn't a video, but basically they're saying that it's nearly 77-year history as far as it's basically a news article that I was trying to get up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 77-year history. That's the first time they've chosen a black man.
Yeah. So there's some layers to this, right? Obviously, this has a lot to do with funding, resources, and who could bring the most money to the organization. And I think that's what it boiled down to. I mean, if you think about it, how many year history? 77 years?
Yes.
Okay, so 77 years ago, there was still some, even today, huge power disparities and dynamics and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that's crazy though, man. I can't believe that we wasn't running our stuff. But I believe it had a lot to do with power, had a lot to do with money. Of course, it had a lot to do with control and oversight. But that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm ashamed they even put that out as a title. They should be embarrassed to say that. I'd keep that a secret, man. My gosh. But
77 years, and you've never UNC, the United Negro College Fund.
Well, look, that gives me hope. That means as an American. Can you hear me?
What? Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I was just saying that gives me hope now, because as an American, I could probably be the Prime Minister of Canada. As a male, I probably can lead out an all-women's empowerment group. Like, you know, if that's the case, shoot, the sky's the limit for all of us. We can do anything. I mean, my goodness, man.
The gentleman's name is Milton Jones of Peachtree Providence Partners, named chair of UNCF board. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. That's some layers to that one, man. Layers to that one. I need to hear some more information on that. Because
in terms of, well, but I think you highlighted it in terms of, I know the funding, the money is the big one. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of money here and a lot of powerful people, right? You know, but it just came across my stuff. I said, get out of here. This ain't true. But then lo and behold, I pulled it up. So this is the first black man as a chair in 77 years.
That's insane. That's hilarious, and that's insane. I can't, I can't. I can't. So
you can't. Why can't you? Are you tongue tied? You don't know? You're speechless? What?
Well, I think I'm gonna apply to be the new activities director for the next Cinco de Mayo, and I'm just gonna, everything that's not my lane, I'm gonna get in that lane now, because I realize it's equal opportunities all the way around, baby.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, but let me ask a question though.
Mm-hmm.
UNCF is a nonprofit organization that basically it's like a charity that funnels money. It raises money and it takes that money and gives it to different worthy organizations, right? Like they take that money and they give it to HBCUs, or they take that money and give it to different causes. I'm assuming that's what their primary objective is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on. I mean, there might be some other things that I don't really have that information, but United Negroes College Fund, Black folks schooling, providing them with grants, scholarship, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a money thing, man. It's a money, and how the money is allocated, how the money is given, how the money is sent, and all that kind of stuff. So when you look at it from that perspective, you know who's controlling that and who's in charge. But
here, in considering the history behind the renowned philanthropic organization founded nearly 77 years old, its primary objective is and always has been to eliminate socio-economic barriers that stand in the way of pursuing higher learning by raising money to pay for Black students' college educations and fund historically Black colleges. Wow. Conventional wisdom might suggest that its board was just always chaired by a Black person, but also comprised of mostly Black people. However, a quick glance back in history and on the website shows that's far from true and provides some precious context that may be missing from collective consciousness when thinking about UNCF leadership. It also underscores that an important and historic milestone, Jones' election, is for the organization. I don't know. Maybe somebody was shouting this from the rooftop and nobody was listening. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm surprised this information didn't come out in 2020 when we were having all that situation with George Floyd. Right. So if you're joining me right now, we're talking about the UNCF, and they just hired their first, the UNC, the United Negro College Fund. You can drop a comment. If you drop a comment, I'll post it on here. The United Negro College Fund just had its first Black chairperson in 77 years. Milton Jones.
So did any of those guys, the chairs, the past white chairs, do they have any experience growing up or attending Black schools? Do they know about the intricacies of the Black community that sends our young ones off to school? I mean, to be able to speak as a chair to those issues, but I guess that, you could be a good chair of a philanthropic organization if you just raise a lot of money. And I think everybody was pacified because, well, at least they're bringing in the money. I don't know, because you said the guy said something about Pepsi, Cola, some big company.
Like this is some Revlon, the CEO of Revlon.
These are big companies that are part of this thing.
Big companies are instrumental in getting a lot of the Black community, right? Founded April 25th, 1944 by Frederick D. Patterson, a Black man who would go on to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civil honor. UNCF's early support from financier and philanthropist John D. Rockefeller was regarded as essential. Mary McLeod Bethune helped get then President Franklin D. and First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt to support its effort as well, ultimately leading to more help from other white leaders, including President Harry Truman, Senator John F. Kennedy, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so look, 1944, okay? I understand, I can understand the rationale for having a white man initially get it started, because in 1944, there wasn't a lot of cachet and influence that we brought to the table. Okay, so I can understand initially in its early stages, you partner with people who can open conversations, who can open doors and get the ball rolling. I get that, but in 77 years, that became the norm. Like that should have gone on for 10 years, the most. And then it should have been passed on. So how did it go so long, so unnoticed? That's the part that's crazy.
Listen, let me throw something else in there. UNCF has 18 directors on its board, including Jones. Half of them appear to be non-Black. But the UNCF institutional directors, president of HBCUs that are UNCF members are all Black. This don't make no sense.
No. And
the UNCF leadership team, led by President and CEO Dr. Michael Lomax, is about 99% Black.
The UNCF what? Leadership team?
Yeah, the leadership team. So they were talking about before the 18 there, it said the directors on its board, including Jones, about half of them appear to be non-Black. According to the website, it says. And the only reason we're stuck on it is because it's just baffling to us. That's the only reason we're stuck on it.
Yeah. It really is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. But you see
What
the
else
leadership.
don't we know, Smitty? What else don't we know? What else is going on in this world that we don't know? Because hey,
I don't think I want to know. Because let me tell you something. In my opinion, the only color that matters is green. And race was created as a means of power and subjugation and control. It was just a way to differentiate people so one group can stay in power. That's what this all comes down to. Power, money, control, and yeah. So it's not surprising. It's just kind of wow. It's really eye-opening. I did not know that. And who's breaking this news to us? Kev on stage.
Kev on stage. Kev on stage.
Kev on stage probably showed that news to millions of Black people who did not know that. I guarantee you there were tons of our people who did not know that piece of information, and it was an internet comedian who just broke that news for us. So
no, I don't. Well, I think he said he saw it on Twitter. It was going crazy on Twitter, but he just sort of made it popular.
Yeah. Well, what else don't we know? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Hey, but they tell us that the vaccine is justice. So Black people first. Black people must be first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, it always goes like this, and then when we look back 10 years from now, some news will come out, some information will come out to say, oh well, come on, man, we did something that wasn't above board. We did some underhanded things, because you can't tell me in this race, this literal race to produce the vaccine, that billions of dollars are not at stake here. I mean, this vaccine.
Right. I don't want it to seem like I'm like hammering the issue too much, or like I'm trying to discourage individuals from doing what they want. So that's why I don't drop that information. But sir, they said right that it was only 1 or 2 doses. Now they're saying they're telling their investors, guess what? We're going to jack up the price, number one. That's what they're saying in the media. They're going to jack up the price. And number 2, they are going to increase the amount of dosage that you must get. So, and not only that, but you're going to need it every year now. So in my, I'm not a prophet, but I just know greed. I know greed well, right? It's going to be mandated for schools. They're going to try to get it on that card, right? They're currently testing it on children 6 months to 12 years old. There's some serious problems, ethical issues with that, right? So this 77-year-old with Mr. Milton, what's his name there? Milton, being the UNCF guy, and all that, all these things playing to it. Black folks were in the dark. We're in the dark, and all of a sudden we should believe that if this man here is now the president of UNCF, and we are under the impression that let me give you his name again. His name is Milton Jones. Milton Jones. Government loves us. Pfizer loves us. Moderna loves us. They all love us now. So you guys are first. Yeah, okay, whatever. But anyway, so that's what I saw. If you're watching right now, we're talking about Milton Jones being the first chairman for the United Negro College Fund in 77 years. First black man. Anyways, or the first black man to chair it. But
that truly is amazing news. Truly is amazing news. But and listen, we hate, KP and myself, we hate to be so such skeptics, but history has taught differently. History always comes out, and when we look back, new information comes out and it's never what we thought. So, like you said, this information that we're just hearing, at least I'm just hearing today, it just goes to highlight that sometimes the things that we think are on the surface, there's some other underhandedly other stuff at play. It's at play, man. And what we doing now?
Let me pull. I don't know if you have been I don't know what is okay. Why this thing just keeps.
Got it.
You see it now?
Yeah, it's on.
Robert Aaron Long, suspect in deadly Georgia shooting. You heard about this?
I heard about it. I've never seen the guy. I don't know who he is, and I don't know much about.
He was going around killing Asians. He's 21 years old. 8 people, Bryant. 8 people injuring one other, killing 8 people and injuring one other. The victims. Huh?
Let me say something.
Hold on. The victims included several women of Asian descent. Authorities continue to investigate the motive behind the attack. And he's alive, Bryant. He's alive. They captured him. They captured him with the gun and everything. He's alive.
Wow. Oh, well, it said he might have had an addiction here.
Yeah. The man is alive, Smitty.
Well, maybe I'll reserve comment. But I mean, if you want to talk about him being alive part, we could talk about that. That what he did. At first, I thought it was something that he was just doing towards Asian people. I mean, it may be a small thing. I don't know what he had going on. But my gosh, I saw the news clippings of this, but I never saw the details. Today's my first day seeing the details of the Asian people getting killed and that he was apprehended alive. And what's so crazy about these guys, man, is their age. I mean, we're talking about early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, young guys. When you think of Kyle Rittenhouse up there, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and all these other places, these are young people, man. These are not no older. These are some young individuals. So that means right now, people are still being radicalized. They're still being introduced to all kind of dangerous ideologies, and they're running with it, man. So, man, 21 years. You got to have a lot of stuff going on in your life, and a lot of just sickness that at 21 years old. You go. So did he go to different spas, or was it just one particular spa? He went to several different.
No, I think he went to a different ones, and based on what I'm reading, it wasn't just one spa, right?
So he got around. That's crazy.
He was caught alive. Brian, aren't you going to say something about the fact that the man is alive still?
Well,
What if this was a black man? What do you think would happen? Does this remind you of January 6th on the Capitol?
Well, we know what would happen. We know what would happen. It wouldn't even be a question. But what happened is, I think January 6th perfectly just highlighted the discrepancies, and they're just given this like pass. It's just like an automatic pass that. They're not as bad. They're not as dangerous. I think that's the key. It's not as dangerous. They're not as threatening.
Good people.
Yeah, they're good people, man. So like, leave them alone, and so on and so forth. I heard somebody say, if you're in your house and you see a spider, what's the first thing you do? The first thing you do when people see a spider, they want to kill it. I mean, as soon as you see, especially if you have a wife or a daughter, as soon as they see a spider, they want to kill it, and they never really think anything past that. Like, what does the spider serve a purpose? Does the spider have a natural role? It's just an automatic, ugly, dangerous enemy that needs to be neutralized, and neutralized quickly. And that's how society treats us as Black people. We're the spiders that when we're seen, we got to stop it, and stop it quickly. But then if you saw a butterfly or whatever, you're like, oh, you try to catch it gently and re-release it outside, and you do, and so our people have just gotten that stigma that we are this dangerous, ugly, thing with no value, no intrinsic value, and the only thing that is good for is being killed or practicing how to kill something. And yeah, so this guy can kill 9 people and it not be a thing. And you can't dismiss the fact that he kills 9 people of a different race.
Yeah, because when I saw all this protesting and Asian folks, raising concerns, I was wondering, it almost seemed like it was directed towards Black people. And I asked somebody, who, is there something going on? Black people killing Asians or something like that I'm not aware of? And
no, I don't know if you know. I don't know if you've seen it in the reporting that hate crimes against Asian Americans has risen drastically because of the coronavirus. People are tired of it. They believe that the Asians brought the coronavirus over here. And so this Spa shooting could very well be a hate crime that was directed because this gentleman feels like they are responsible for the coronavirus. Now, the media is probably trying to hide it and trying to keep it at bay, but that's not far-fetched, and I believe that's probably what exactly is happening.
I don't, why are they putting things like he may have had a sexual addiction and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. They're trying to, sleight of hand, deflect you. No, this is not a hate crime. Hate crimes against Asian Americans are not up. No, this is not another white nationalist type thing. No, it is. It more than likely is, I should say. It more than likely is. I mean, I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but when you showed that picture, yeah, he looked like somebody who espouses certain ideologies. But
listen, all right, that's fine. So we have Mr. Aaron. What can't remember his name, but anyways, he's running around. He was running around killing people. They caught him. And he was focusing.
Did they say how they caught him?
I'm just looking for the details there, but basically, Robert Aaron Long claimed he was not motivated by racial factors. Oh, see that he's preempting you, but instead by a possible sexual addiction. They were just basically looking for him, and they cornered him.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I don't know. If somebody just killed 9 people, they're armed, they're considered dangerous, and you roll up on them, I mean, they must have had them in a very compromised position where they could just apprehend him, but not worry, like, oh, we got him. He's not a threat to us. But I guarantee you, if that was somebody else, he would be considered an automatic threat, and they would have to neutralize him quickly. Take him down. He's killed 9 people. He can kill 9 more. We got to take him down. But this gentleman, they probably walked him through this thing patiently. So I'm not sure.
Two massage parlors Tuesday evening left 8 dead, many of them women of Asian descent. The attacks began 5 p.m. Then 5 people were shot at Young's Asian massage parlor.
And bro, he don't even look like a person who goes to a parlor. Like,
he
don't even look like a guy who even frequents those kind of places. So what are you doing in there? That's targeted. You're looking specifically for a certain group of people. So if it is a sexual thing, he has some kind of proclivity towards Asian American women. If it's a hate crime, then because there are so many other places you can go if you have a sex addiction. There's strip clubs, there are clubs, there are all places that you can go if you have a sex addiction, unless you're addicted to a certain kind of individual and all that kind of stuff. So anyway.
All right. So I know you gotta go soon. I just one last thing. Did you watch the Grammys?
I didn't watch it. No, I get all the highlights. I look through the pictures, who or what.
Yeah, we know you. We know
I
you.
didn't watch it. I like to see the outfits, man. I like to see the fashion. No, but I didn't watch it. No, I didn't watch it.
All right, so there's a big stink about Cardi. I didn't see it myself. I just noticed the stuff in the reports. Right, there's a big stink about Cardi B's performance with Meg Thee Stallion. That song, I guess, WAP. And let me see if I can.
WAP means worship and praise. Worship and praise. Yes.
Okay. We'll go with that one. Right here. I won't leave it up too long because I don't want nobody to kill me. Right? So basically, we can confirm that the FCC did receive consumer complaints regarding the Grammy performance. An FCC spokesperson told the Wrap, while the spokesperson did not say how many complaints, right? So if you don't know what that their song is, you need to go check it out for yourself, right? I don't need to state the lyrics or anything like that, but here's why I want to bring it up. Cancel culture, number one, but and to connect it to Meg and Cardi B. So Pepe Le Pew, the skunk, the cartoon skunk, who always chased. I didn't even know the cat has a name. I think the cat is called Felicity Feline or something like that. But anyways, the cat is always chasing the cat down, hugging her, kissing her. So cancel culture basically said, no, that's like creep tactics, rape type, abuse type tactics and all that sort of stuff. So he was supposed to be in Space Jam. They cut him out. So what's up with Cardi B here and Meg? Is it because they're not cartoons? What? Why the double standard here?
Well, there's a lot of double standard. There are several other animated characters on TV right now that are just as offensive, if not way more offensive than Pepe Le Pew. So double standards are all around the board. They're going to go ahead and cancel this cartoon character, which I think is just silly, but it's so hypocritical. It's so hypocritical, but we see this happening a lot. This is becoming the norm. This is becoming the norm, man. I forget the artist, Baby It's Cold Outside. That Christmas song.
Yeah.
And they I don't know if it officially went anywhere, but they did attack that this past Christmas. That it was like rape culture and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so I think what is happening is that you have individuals who are being triggered. Okay, they have certain triggers, and when they see something now, they'll be triggered and they'll react based on that. But that's not. You can create this character to do whatever and think whatever and say whatever. You don't have to allow it to be this way. Cardi B and Megan, that's the kind of music they put out. That's their stuff. But this is a cartoon character that can easily be changed.
Yes.
Easily be rescripted or whatever. I mean, it's
right.
It's whatever. Man, it's whatever. Why they got to cut the skunk, man?
Yeah,
huh? Why they cut the skunk?
Right. When you're thinking about it, like I said, you're talking about a cartoon. It's a cartoon skunk, right? And somebody's writing that. So just write something different, just like you said, But Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion can just go up there and show all their unmentionables and say all types of things, right? And is this the color of green money type thing, or is it what is this? Is this a money thing? Is this a I don't know what to say regarding it.
You talk to me, I believe everything is a money thing. I believe I think everything is a money thing. But listen, man, and then even what Pepe Le Pew did, where he's grabbing this cat and trying to kiss the cat and all that kind of stuff. That in itself is not as offensive as, of course, what Cardi B is saying and doing, and a lot of the other overly sexualized images that we hear. And like I said, if you watch Family Guy, there's a character.
I was about to say, tell me about Quagmire.
Yeah, there's a character on Family Guy who's highly offensive and highly controversial in his words, and that's gone on for what, 20 seasons almost? So listen,
his name is Quagmire for a reason.
He's a quagmire. He's a conundrum. You don't know if he's coming or going, baby. But it's stupid, man. But cancel culture is very dangerous. On real talk, cancel culture is very dangerous.
Why do you say that? Why is it dangerous in what way? I mean, we're pastors. Like, how is it going to be? Coming? Is this another one of those dress rehearsal comments?
Well, I think it's dangerous because it doesn't allow us to have the uncomfortable conversations, and it doesn't grow us. It doesn't grow us. It keeps us infantile in our social development. Okay.
Yeah.
So as I was telling you earlier offline, man, when you're on social media, you are surrounded by people who just like everything you put out. It's very rare that you are challenged and in a space where people have contradictory thoughts and feelings towards you. And that process, that experience, as uncomfortable as it is actually a good one, because it helps you check your emotions. It gives you a level of self-control. It gives you a level to learn how to listen more than to talk. It gives you a fresh perspective. It gives you a new way of looking at people. And maybe, just maybe, you'll learn something. You might not agree with everything that person says and how they go about it, but listen to somebody, and you can understand and grow and begin that uncomfortable process. And I think when we cancel people, that leads to, and I know it's going to be like for some people it's going to be a leap, but failed marriages, because people can't commit anymore. Like, it's too much trying to work with this person. I'd rather just bail out. It leads to broken families, because instead of going through we're family, we're going to work it out, we're going to talk it out, we're going to fight through this, it's like, it's too much work. And because you don't agree with me, I'm cutting bait. And so I just kind of think cancel culture keeps us, it retards our growth and our social, emotional, and spiritual growth that God wants us to be. The Bible says, don't forsake the coming of yourselves together. And then it also says, let the wheat and the tares grow together. So you tell me, Lord, you want me to come to a place where there's wheat and tares? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's a good connection. That's a good connection there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we have to always walk that thin line and do our very best to be careful of what we how we handle certain things that comes across, right? But for me personally, I because sometimes individuals may say certain things that motivate some bad actions, right? Like what happened on January the 6th. But for me personally, like you said, if they want to do that, I have the choice. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to watch them. I don't have to buy their stuff. I don't know. And like I said, even with Pepe Le Pew, I think, just change what is being said, right? But just this mass canceling, I mean, granted, we haven't spoken about that on here, but even, one of the first things that President Biden did when he came in was to now shift women's sports, right? In terms of, now there's a big uproar about that. So I think, I don't know, some people call it fake wokeness. Everybody is all of a sudden into this, well, we need to get rid of this, we need to be all together. I don't know. I'm not too sure what to think.
It's very selective too. Anyway, I got to roll. But it's very selective, and I like that term, fake wokeness, because it makes us, somebody's calling me, I don't know who that is. It makes us feel that we're doing something and we can't. And you're a pastor of a church, KP. I know that that not everybody in that building is gonna all agree on everything. So
of course not. Of course
man.
not. All right, I know you gotta go, man. But you know,
yeah, Doc, it was fun talking to you, though, man. I enjoyed it. Thanks for the invite. I got to do it again.
Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming in. All right, we'll catch up. You can also catch Bryant, by the way, on social media. You're on Instagram, right, sir?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
You gotta be out there now. You know, you gotta start saying something now on Instagram.
I know.
Hello, everybody. This is my devotion this morning.
Yeah. My morning manna. I'll give you my morning manna.
All right, man.
Blessings to you.